Good morning, everyone. Hopefully, everyone can hear me. Let me know if you can't. Thanks, everyone, for joining this morning, and thanks to Aaron Finch for coming along and spending some time with you guys. We arrived obviously late on Wednesday evening, and the boys have done some gym work and a few other things yesterday. We're about to head off to training in about 20 minutes' time. As always, guys, cameras off, videos off as well, please, to save the bandwidth. If you have a question, raise your hand and we'll get underway as soon as we have the first question. So if someone wants to kick us off. I think it's Sahadi, if that's the correct pronunciation.
What is
One second, Sahadi. Can't hear you. Should be working. One second, Sahadi. Okay, my apologies. Your question? He's on mute. You're on mute, Sadi. We'll go to Malcolm in the meantime.
G'day, Aaron. Mate, I just wondered if there's been a lot of publicity, obviously, about the civil sort of strife that's going on in Sri Lanka. I know you haven't been there for very long, but I just wondered what you guys have seen and been told about it, and what sort of what if anything had been put in place around it.
Yeah, we obviously got in around midnight on Wednesday, so straight to the hotel from there. There wasn't a huge amount you could see or anything from there, but Cricket Australia has been really transparent with their communications with DFAT and all the foreign affairs. So from what we've seen so far, it's good, albeit inside the hotel for majority of it with 3 days of a sort of loose isolation, trying to stay away or stay separate as much as we can. So, but all in all, it's been a really good start to the trip.
And what processes or procedures have been put in place for the tour in terms of security? Is it any different to what you would usually expect for a cricket tour of the subcontinent?
No, not really, to be honest, mate. We've got some opportunities to be able to get out and about after our initial 3 days, like I said, loose isolation. But so then it's just about making sure that anytime we do go out and about, we give security enough notice, and just so they can be across everything and make sure that where we're going is safe. Obviously, masks whenever you're going into a crowded area. Anytime that you're indoors, we're able to dine outside at some prearranged restaurants and stuff like that. So starting to get back to a little bit more normal than what it's been for the last couple of years.
Thank you, mate. Good luck.
Thanks, Mel.
We'll try Sadi one more time.
yeah.
Yep. Went off mute,
Okay.
and back on mute.
Sorry, Sadi, you're back on mute. Louis.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yes.
Sadi.
Yeah. Do you think touring the subcontinent has been made easy these days because of the number of key players participating frequently in franchise tournaments like the IPL?
Yeah, I think it is. It's just a way that we're able to, I suppose, play more in these conditions. The subcontinent conditions play a little bit more in or with guys and train with them. So, I mean, you build some great relationships with people that you play with and against all around the world. And the more that us as Australians are exposed to the subcontinent conditions, I think that's a really good thing for our development as a team, as individuals. And I think world cricket's getting stronger and stronger because of the relationships built between people playing and against each other all around the world. Louis.
Hey, Aaron. Just picking up on what Mal was kind of asking about before, just in terms of, I think Todd Greenberg might have said that some of the players had ethical concerns at the outset of the tour. How kind of comfortable are you, I guess, playing night games specifically with the power shortages here?
Yeah, that's well and truly above my pay grade. But I mean, all of that stuff was ticked off between the boards and the governments and things like that before the tour went ahead. So I mean, that's out of our control. Whether they shift the games to day games, I'm not sure what's going to happen in that space. I'm sure that's being continued to be worked through. But yeah, over the last week or so, I haven't heard of any complaints.
And just on the cricket, Aaron, I want to ask about Ashton Agar, who has had a few different roles with this T20 team in recent times. He was obviously unlucky to miss at the World Cup. Is this a good chance for him with Adam Zampa missing the tour?
Yeah, absolutely, it will be. He's proved over the last couple of years that he's one of the best in the world in the T20 format for Australia, and just the fact that we've been able to, win a World Cup having the strength of Ash. Not in the 11 all the time, I think is super for the group, I think. And what he's shown with his disappointment of missing out during that World Cup, his ability to bounce back and take his opportunities every time he's had them shows the character of the person, shows what kind of a team man he is, and he'll certainly get a lot of opportunity on this tour and to play that real frontline spinner role in both white ball formats of the game.
Rex Clementine.
Welcome to Sri Lanka, Aaron.
Thank you.
Aaron, obviously, you guys are world champions in T20 cricket, and Sri Lanka ranked number 9. Do you reckon that, you start the series as favourites? And if there are any Sri Lankan players that you got to look out for, who would you put that up to be?
Oh, you can never underestimate Sri Lanka in these conditions. We've seen in the past. We've had a couple of really close series against them. They play these conditions as well as anyone, and they're a very dangerous side. I think if you look at the top order, you've got Kusal there, who can be as damaging as anyone in the world on his day, and obviously Hasaranga has had an unbelievable couple of years in T20 cricket. He showed recently in the IPL how damaging he can be, how effective he can be. Even when the wickets are flat, he's showed just a huge amount of skill and huge amount of temperament as well.
Justin Chadwick.
Yeah, good day, Aaron. Just further to the situation in Sri Lanka at the moment, would you actually like to see those matches played during the daytime, just given the sensitivities around what's happening?
Oh, I guess that's something that the boards will work through. Like I said before, that's well and truly out of our control. We're here to play cricket, and hopefully, if we can bring some joy and some entertainment to Sri Lanka. This is the first time we've been here since 2016, which is a long gap between tours, and it's such a special place to tour. The hospitality that you get here, the friendliness of everyone, their love of the game is unbelievable.
And has there been talk among the player group of anything else you guys can do apart from just playing the cricket, but just to either raise money or help the situation in any small way?
Yeah, the High Commission is all over that at the moment, and we're going to work with them. There's a couple of appearances, and over the last couple of years, we haven't been able to get out and I guess do appearances with local people wherever we've travelled, school kids and things like that. So that's going to be something that's starting to get back a little bit to normal. I remember in the last tour here, up in Kandy, we had an unbelievable experience with underprivileged kids, and that was something that you live with forever. So hopefully we can get back to that as soon as we can, and we can have a really positive impact here.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for that.
Cheers.
Rob Waters.
Hi, Aaron. How are you going? What's your thinking with Tim David? It's rare that you bring in a sort of a T20 specialist without the basis of a sort of a first-class career, but he's going pretty well in the IPL.
Yeah, he's been fantastic for quite a period of time now through IPL, the PSL, Big Bash, Australian domestic cricket. He's someone who continues to improve all the time, and I think over the next, from here on, we're going to probably see more T20 specialists playing international cricket as well, and I think it's just going to be the lay of the land. I guess the specialised skills in T20 cricket are going to be something that will be more and more looked upon, especially with the schedule being as packed as it is. I think that we'll start to get we'll be moving away from probably 3 format players over probably the next 5 or 10 years, because the demand on the international calendar is just so big. But yeah, he's someone who's definitely on the radar. He's been in fantastic form.
In the more shorter term, though, for the World Cup, it would mean changing the balance of the side, though, I suppose, wouldn't it?
Oh, we'll look at that over the next period. I think we've got 11 games until the World Cup, and quite a lot of one-day cricket in there as well. So there might be an opportunity to experiment through the one-day format at different times, just because it's so close to the T20 World Cup. But yeah, we'll weigh all that kind of stuff up, and we're really comfortable with how the side's balance is at the moment.
Thanks, Aaron.
Lockie McCurdy.
Thanks, Cole. Hey, Finchy. This will be the first time you guys have batted, you and Dave Warner have batted together since the World Cup last year. What's the key to kind of making sure that partnership stays as strong as it has been over the last years? Is it something that's second nature, considering how long you guys have been batting together for now? Yeah,
I think it is, to be honest. We've had a long friendship and a long relationship at the top of the order. So I think that's something that doesn't take too much time to get back up and running. We've both been around a long time now. So he's been in fantastic form throughout the IPL. Well, he's never been out of form, really. I mean, he's probably as good as any player that Australia's had over all 3 formats of the game ever. So that partnership, obviously we want to get the side off to a really positive and good start. So it'll be nice to be back together.
Like you said, you guys have known each other for a long time. Is there something in that relationship that you kind of drive each other to be better too, wanting to almost outdo the other a little bit as well?
Well, I'm never going to win that battle if I'm trying to measure it against Davey. He's been an unbelievable player in all 3 formats for his career, and I mean, just having the left-right hand is a good start to it, but I think our games complement each other at times across the 2 formats as well. So that's nothing groundbreaking. I mean, we talk a lot about the game. We analyse and I guess communicate well out on the ground, which is a big help.
ARV Lotion.
Yeah. Hi, Aaron. Welcome to Sri Lanka.
Thank you.
You are with the full squad this time. And what will be your primary outcome of this series? Winning the series as a defending 2020 World Cup champions, or getting tuned in for the upcoming 2020 World Cup?
I think they both go hand in hand. I think if you want to win every game that you play, obviously, but we understand that having only 11 games until the World Cup, it's not a huge amount of game time in this format. But we're hoping that we can continue our momentum that we started from the World Cup and then against Sri Lanka in our home summer and the one-off T20 against Pakistan. So I think they go hand in hand, to be honest. The more momentum you can create, the ability to continue to nail down your process and your plans as a team is really important.
Okay, thank you.
2 more here, guys, before we've got to head off to training. We'll go with Raj and finish off with Mel.
Hi, thanks, Cole. Hi, Aaron. The other day you said you wanted to get people off your back. I think obviously for the lack of runs you had. How much does a tour to subcontinent help you in terms of, or does it help at all in terms of getting back into form and get those runs under your name?
I don't think it really matters where the games are. For me, it's about getting back to my basics. And like I mentioned the other day, it's probably just straightening up my technique a little bit. It's over the last couple of months, my foot pattern or my stance has got more and more open. So that's just something that I've got to readjust slightly. So it's only a small technical change, but I think just getting back to the process that has made me a pretty good player over a long period of time in this format, I think is more important than anything.
One more, if I may. This series is also preparation. You just mentioned 11 games to the World Cup. How has the team adapted? Is there enough number of games to get used to your new coach and the whole coaching environment before a big World Cup tournament?
Yeah, I think it is, and the fact that we've got a full squad to pick from for this tour, all bar Pat Cummins, who will join us for the one-day series. I think it's great that we're able to play as many games as we can as a group. It's a really similar squad to what we had for the T20 World Cup as well. Barring Adam Zampa as well, sorry, who's having his first baby shortly. So that's just as important as anything. Just the ability to keep nailing down our processes and with the structure of the team as well, we might mix and match slightly depending on the conditions. We'll have to keep assessing that between Colombo and Candy. You can get some contrasting conditions. So it'll be a really good opportunity to test ourselves and test the balance of our team.
Thanks, Aaron.
Last one, Mel.
Thanks, Cole. Hey, Aaron.
Yeah,
Just interesting that you mentioned building momentum before, because it's just casting my mind back to this time last year and those fairly unhappy tours that you had, where leading into the World Cup that you won, you probably pretty fair to say you didn't have much momentum at all.
Yeah.
So, just putting it nicely, but how do you see this year differently? Is there a different approach to this T20 World Cup than there is last year? I guess also bearing in mind that it's in Australia. How is it different now?
I think that we've probably settled a little bit more on the structure of the team and the balance of the team. We went in. We've played a lot over the last 3 years with two frontline spinners, and we changed that pretty late to go with the three quicks, the one spinner, and then use our all-rounders in Maxi, Stoinis and Marsh throughout that World Cup. So we feel as though that's a really good balanced side for T20 cricket, because we've still got 7 genuine batters with Matty Wade at 7, and we saw the importance of that role throughout the World Cup. I mean, in the first game, Matt and Marcus Stoinis got us across the line in a close one against South Africa, and then that semi-final against Pakistan as well. So having the 7 genuine batting options, 4 genuine frontline bowlers, but then when the conditions suit, Maxwell's as good as a frontline spinner. Mitch Marsh and Marcus Stoinis, their bowling is very underrated in T20 cricket as well. So I think it's not so much the results. It's about the process that we take and the balance that we build our side with.
And just sorry to follow up, if you found that balance, then what does become the focus of the next few months of those 11 games?
I think it's about making sure that's still, or we still feel as though that's the right way to go in to a World Cup in Australia. And we're pretty confident that it is, but just guys continually playing them roles, because you see, particularly in Big Bash and competitions like that, guys don't always bat in the position that they play for Australia. So just giving guys an extra opportunity to nail down their roles and get more comfortable in different situations, I think is really important.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mel, and thanks everyone for joining us today. And thanks to Aaron Finch for coming along this morning. And we'll catch up with all of you guys in the next few days. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.